All right, hello and welcome to Thrive at Home Video Blog, Season 2, Episode 3, the continuation of the top 10 list, How to Destroy Your Relationship.
Our top 10 list.
All right.
Number 6, bringing up the past.
There you go.
Here we mean past failures,
Right.
past junk, past anything, past fights. What happens in the past? Stays in the past. Now, there's emotional stuff that sometimes carries over, and that's something that you have to deal with and work with. But to bring it into the present does nothing except for re-traumatize and bring up old emotions and feelings that now you have to deal with on top of the current or present issue.
Right. And this is not to say that how you move forward is you just lop off the past and you never talk about it. But the key is that if that's continuing, right? You've processed something, you've dealt with it, and then you keep bringing that up as a weapon.
Not
that's
good.
That's a good way
That's
to kill
gonna
it.
ruin it.
That's going to kill it. Okay, number 7, expect your partner to make you happy. Yep. So if you think it's your partner's job to make you happy, you're probably going to be miserable, 1.
Right.
And then 2, you're going to kill the relationship because that just doesn't happen. Right?
You are responsible for your own happiness, and part of that is your partner's, your spouse, your partner is a part of that.
Absolutely.
But that person is not 100% responsible for that happiness. So you have to figure out what that is and communicate how that happens and what works and expecting them to do it and expecting them to read your mind to do it.
Yeah, and especially when a lot of people, they don't even know what they want themselves.
Right.
No one else can figure out what you have not spent the time to figure out on your own.
Right.
One of my favorite movies we tell a lot of couples, right, to go watch is Runaway Bride.
Yes.
Or sometimes I'll do this with individuals. Go watch Runaway Bride, come back, tell me what kind of eggs she likes. That's a big one because you've got to spend some time to figure out what it is that you like yourself. And if you don't do that, no one else can contribute to your happiness.
Yeah.
So that's big. Number 7.
All right.
Number 8.
So number 8 is nagging, and we have several different ones after this. Sarcastic expressions, degrading statements, facial expressions.
Right.
There are a lot of things that go into nagging, and that is a huge relationship killer.
Yeah, nagging. It's like a drip. That constant drip.
The drippy faucet.
My goodness. It's just this constant noise.
Yeah, and the barrage and the reminder that you're not good enough.
Not good enough. And that's a message that we've got to be careful to send our partner anyway.
Right.
I mean,
right.
And that's kind of what nagging is. So figure out a better way to communicate your needs without it being...
I think a big way of doing that, just to give you a little hint here, is figuring out boundaries and being able to clearly communicate respectfully what your boundaries are. And so that's okay. We can't go in there. That's a whole nother episode. Yeah. But nagging.
Yeah, nagging. Killer. And then that the facial expressions you were talking about, and the sarcasm. We're kind of wrapping up some things here, but those when you, in a sense, change to a rougher tone, and sometimes we'll offset it I was just kidding, kidding. No. You've got to be very careful in your intimate relationships, or relationships you care about. Sarcasm has an edge to it that cuts, and so you may not expect it to linger. But words do have power, so really sort of keep that in check. So nagging on one side, sarcasm, on the other, those can be bad. Right. Okay, number 10.
9.
10.
We just did 8.
What?
Yes.
Oh, number 9.
We can't count.
No.
We're not mathematicians.
There
That's
you go.
Why we're therapists.
Number 9 is fail to notice the good.
Right.
Fail to notice the good. So you don't ever see what the other person did that was a little different than yesterday.
Right.
You've got to make room. If you never make room for someone to make small changes, we've tried everything. Nothing works. He never changes, or she never, does this. Well,
or maybe even if you notice the good but don't actually verbally acknowledge it.
Right, because we're afraid that if we do, then they'll stop.
Right.
Well, God forbid. No, that's the truth is that we often get what we praise.
Right.
Okay, so highlight what they don't do well, probably going to get more of that.
Right.
Highlight the things they've done well. See that. That's really powerful. So if you want to kill the relationship, fail to notice the good. That was number 9.
That was number 9. Number 10 is don't take time.
Don't take time.
When we see this a lot more, especially when couples begin to have children.
Yeah.
Or if you're newly married or new in a relationship and you're hanging out with your friends more than you're hanging out with your partner. This is kind of what we're talking about. But when you don't take time to put your marriage at the beginning or at the forefront, you're going to struggle because distance and time and space and lack of emotional connection will damage a relationship.
Yeah.
And one way of, especially when you start having children, if you one of the spouses or somebody cannot leave a child so that you can go on a date and actually spend time in your relationship, because the best gift you could ever give your child is a good relationship and a healthy relationship. And so if you don't take time to connect, to be with each other, to just enjoy each other as friends, continue dating even after you're married,
you're doing harm to your relationship.
Yes, you are.
And I'm just going to say this, I'm very bold, but your marriage is more important than your parenting, right? I mean, that we've got to get the priorities straight. Marriage first, kids second. And so leaving kids for whatever the excuse, and I know there are horrific excuses, well, I don't ever want to let this happen. I'm saying you got to beat that. You've got to figure out a way to overcome it, or you're going to do gradual damage to your relationship. Because if you never sequester yourself, to be able to just have the two of you, people are going to look for that. Somewhere they're going to look for it. They need that. They need that intimate.
And even if your time alone is not out of the house, even if it's when the children go to bed and you specifically carve out time where it is just the two of you. You lock the door, you don't let the kids in, and it's just the two of you. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Turn the TV off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you're watching, you get yourself in the habit of there's your favorite show every night of the week. Man, it just eats up a ton of your time, or whatever it is that you do. Some people, work on their business or send emails late in the night. I mean, at some point, you just got to make time. That's a big one. Okay. That was number 10. Number 11. Number 11, we're throwing one in extra.
Yes, because I think it's important.
Yep, and we always want to give you a little extra. But that is withholding affection in sex. I think that's a big one. If you want to destroy a relationship, don't have sex. Or, don't.
Yeah, show any kind of affection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just kind of be super cold and just shut down.
Yeah, very, very common in our practice. We have people come in and they'll ask, "Are you familiar with the 5 love languages?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm familiar. We have the book on our shelf." But it's knowing and understanding, and if you know, especially if you've done that and you're withholding affection, shame on you. But if you do know what your partner needs and what they want, give that to them, even if it's not in your own language.
Right.
Which becomes a challenge. But definitely if you're in a fight or And
I think that's the deal, is that it starts off small.
Right.
And this is what we're talking about. These are the 10 things to destroy a relationship. If you wanted to learn how to destroy a relationship, start doing these 10 things. And this is one of those easy things to do, is to make excuses. Well, this, that, and the other. Well, no, you need to push through those excuses to continue to allow that physical affection and sexual relationship to continue. Because if you don't, for any extended length of time, it causes impact in your relationship. Yeah. And some people deny it. They say, "Oh no," and I would say that sex is one of those things that it is not. You won't die if you don't have sex.
Right.
Okay, guys need to know that. You won't die if you don't have sex. However, God, I believe, built it in us to desire, and it's very healthy. And so we're meant to enjoy it continuously. And so to turn that off. And then affection, on the other hand, I don't think we're supposed to live without affection. I think you need to have that caressing and someone that's looking at you and that's excited about your presence and kind of holding you. So anyway,
all right,
that's the balance. Top 10 plus 1 things to you can do to destroy your relationship, which we hope you'll turn around. All right, well, this was Thrive at Home. My name's Sam.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
Hope you have a good one.